Welcome back to everyone's favorite night of racing, Sunday Night Lights. Last week, Jacob Rafos stole the show from Kieran Lifflander and Jacob Rafos in the series debut. Meanwhile, the points have never been closer with a three-way tie for the points lead between Marcos Palacio, Josh Mertz, and Josh Klog. Can Rafos continue his winning ways in Barcelona, or will we have a fourth different winner in as many races? Stay tuned to find out. Tonight's venue takes us to the virtual circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya. Established in 1950, North American Simulated Odd Racing began utilizing this circuit in 2021B. Spanning a length of 0.69 miles, the track boasts 10 corners, 4 to the right and 6 to the left. We'll be transversing the final sector of the Grand Prix circuit in reverse, featuring a blend of wide open asphalt to the Grand Prix layout and narrow street circuit-like sections of the dirt. This circuit promises an exhilarating mix. Anticipate intense battles for position, particularly in the one-lane dirt segments, while contact is inevitable as drivers vie for every inch of space. Additionally, keep an eye out for the thrilling Joker exit where drivers will speed past the regular course down turn 1. Merges are inevitable. Our format for NASA Rallycross is as follows. 24 cars will be split into 4 heat races, 5 laps apiece, Joker lap once. The top 2 will transfer to the feature. Winners get 3 bonus points and the runner-up gets 2. The rest of our competitors will be funneled into semifinals, 5-lap races, Joker laps once. Those winners will also receive 1 bonus point, and the top 2 drivers from each semifinal will transfer to the feature. This sets the grid for the 12-car, 10-lap feature race, where points are awarded and trophies are handed out. Unique to NASA Rallycross, 2 Jokers are taken during the feature race. The 4th event of Rallycross Lights 2024A campaign, with Victor Vallee in the production truck. My name is Justin Robichaud up in the commentary box alongside series sponsor James Watson. We welcome you to Barcelona. Looking for some great rallycross setups. Big news, Team Watson Racing Setups has been chosen to sponsor NASA Rallycross Lights with sets meticulously crafted by Francois Martel. You're sure to find success in all your rallycross endeavors. Also, our cameras for this entire season are provided by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/Whiplash Media. And our coverage all season on ASN is brought to you by NordVPN. NordVPN, your gateway to online freedom and security. Protect your digital privacy with military-grade encryption. Browse the web anonymously and access your favorite content from anywhere in the world. Receive up to 67% off on a 2-year plan at nordvpn.com/ASN TV USA. Finally, our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Sabetti. Now, very quick commercial break here for just one moment, and we will be right back to go over points and constructors.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, we're back. So we've got the timing screen up there real quick, but no issues there. So just a bit of a technical difficulty. We had a session problem, got that all straightened away. So we're just waiting on our drivers now. So we'll quickly go over our, excuse me, sorry about that. We'll quickly go over our drivers and constructors points. So at the moment we have Josh Mertz sitting atop the driver standings with 56, and Marcos Palacio in second with 45. That should be a three-way tie. I'm not sure why that's updated, but our three-way tie is there. We'll drop that out, but there is a three-way tie for the top three. Something we'll be watching tonight. Josh Mertz not in attendance. No, our point spreadsheet must be a little broken tonight. That's all right. So we do have. Looks like we don't have Josh in attendance tonight, so we might not have him. So this is gonna it's gonna spice up this championship big time. So. He is in the session. Looks like he might actually race after all. He did hint that he might not be here tonight, but no, he's here to keep that championship alive. So we've lost our point. So we'll just that's okay. We'll move on. It's all right. So we'll run on to our programming notes. Actually, in the meantime, our NASA Rallycross Challenge continues tomorrow night, round 4 in Barcelona. You're gonna have myself, Josh Mertz, and Bryan Sawyer for that one at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Thursday, we run into OSRL JT Series. That continues with round 6 at Road Atlanta at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You have myself. Actually, you're going to have myself and Josh Mertz, I believe, with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck on that one. That's going to be a great time. The racing there has been fantastic all season. The lap traffic with GTP cars has been something to watch. And then again, round 5 next Sunday, NASA Rallycross Lights, round 5 at Atlanta at 9 p.m. Eastern. You should have Jared Lott, Victor Vallee, and James Watson for that one. Myself just covering in for Jared Lott tonight, as I believe we have everyone here today. Well, let's check who we got. Well, it looks like we've got all of our drivers in at the moment. We should get ready to push that session forward as it goes ahead here now, and we begin qualifying. And James Watson, I guess we're gonna kind of dump off script a little bit here since we've been thrown this wrench. But I'm gonna bring you in real quick as we begin qualifying. And say hello and welcome tonight as we already kick things off in NASA fashion. And how are you? And how do you feel about tonight at Barcelona?
Oh man, this is always one of the, I don't know if I necessarily want to say worst layouts we go to, but that's kind of how I feel. This track is a bit of a pain because it's so narrow. It's so hard to find any sort of breathing room when you're running in traffic, and especially like coming up here, this section here, it's like ridiculous, and you have to be really careful on those curbs, especially with this car. If you hit it hard enough and hit it just right, you will end up on your roof and then back on your wheels and then back on your roof, and then back on your wheels again, if you're lucky. So it's so easy to make the slightest little mistake, and any mistake here will end very, very badly for the components on your car.
Absolutely, and the Volkswagen, I find it does like to roll a little bit, and obviously we've partnered with your setup shop to eliminate that as much as possible. But I've already seen some drivers pushing this car to the limit, especially in the Joker section, and they do get the car up a little bit in almost a scary situation. Something that if you're in VR, you can almost feel it in the pit of your stomach. Not a situation you want to be in here. These cars, very difficult to stop them from rolling. The center of gravity just so high. But the field tonight, you mentioned it, this track incredibly narrow. You're right. It almost leaves nothing, no room to pass. Your passing almost has to happen in that Joker lap, which you'll see some drivers dive off to here as we watch Jacob Rafos. They use this Joker lap. You get a little bit of an extra run, James, on this runoff to start your lap, and it can be the difference in a few tenths.
Yeah, this is the one part of the track where you really able to stretch your legs out and get your speed going. But then you're leading into the tightest section, not only in Rallycross, but it kind of racing in general. Like, unless you're going to Monaco, you're not gonna find very many narrower parts. So yeah, that's why it's so tough to qualify here, because it's so easy to make just the slightest touch and invalidate your lap.
Absolutely. As Kieran Liftlander sits atop us right now with a 42.174, Jacob Rafos deletes his lap. I'm not sure why. He must not have liked it. Must have been something about it. He was about halfway through and just come off it. He's sitting in second as Marcos Palacio jumps into third place with a 42.629. The only three at the moment in a 42 second. Josh Clogg sitting in 43.2. This is looking great. And so we just got word in. We're gonna have to go to another session. In absolute, it is a NASA night here, James. we're gonna have to go to another one. So we'll pop off to another commercial break, and we appreciate your patience with us tonight. We're gonna jump into another new session real quick. Once we get everyone in, we'll roll this forward and begin this again. Thank you so much, everyone.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN, safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clogging the inside line. McFarlane contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Rally's going to hold his spot.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clogging the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Eddie to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like he's going with the speed.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Good enough.
And we are back. Thank you so much for your patience this evening through our technical difficulties. We have some we've had some session issues here this evening. iRacing's UI not incredibly intuitive, and the way we set our grids are a little bit it's a little bit dynamic. So when we have some drivers come in and out of the sessions, it can cause some issues. So we're all squared away now. It seems we have most of our drivers in the session filing in. We're going to get going very shortly, but we'll go over points real quick again because we want to bring that up. It was actually right all along. It wasn't a three-way tie because we weren't counting the drop week that was being affected. So Josh Mertz atop just by a decent margin. Actually, if you count that drop week, 56 Josh Mertz, 45 Marcos Palacios. Oh, actually, yeah, it's not right. It should be Josh Klug in the lead with 65 with a little bit of a margin by 9 points. It's not sorted quite right, but it should be Josh Klug, Josh Mertz, then Marcos Palacios there after the drop weeks come in. A little bit of a battle there, but that should fizzle out as the weeks go on. But we are about to go forward very soon. We'll bring up our team championship really quickly. JC Sim Sports atop at 105. Saints and Sitters Racing with 79. Pocket Sand 65. Move over at Speedy Time with 55. RX Arge at 45. A tie there for 5th place. Rounding out is JC Sim Sport Jr., Nitro Circus Sim Racing Team, Zeem Setup Shop, Saints and Sinners Racing Speed Bumps, which is the lower end team there. So we're just about to start filing away. Actually, qualifying has begun, James. So we're here again. We're here all over again to try this one more time. I think this one should be it. Do you expect anything different here today? Do you think the weather might play a little bit of a factor in this one?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine on that. I'm just happy to see cars on the track again.
No kidding. Painful it can be to create sessions over and over again as we start to bring our qualifying to a start. All of our drivers out on their first lap. Well, most of them out on their first lap at the moment. We are watching Jess Rakowski at the moment just come through the hairpin here in turn 5. Fantastic little section of the course. I love nailing this so right. And this wide right-hander so thrilling and very satisfying to hit. And a little left right over a jump. And you really have to swing that car out mid-air and let it slide out the rest of that corner. It's the most effective way anyways that I find most.
Yeah, I kind of have to do that too. Though given that it's very apparent how poor my Rallycross skills are, it doesn't quite look as graceful like when they do it. It's either not enough airborne turn.
Yeah, or too much.
Yeah.
And if it's not enough, that is where it gets really hairy. You've got those blue tires on the inside that are ready to ruin your race and many others if there are a few behind you, as Jess Rakowski sits atop on pole with a 42.6. We'll see if anything comes out here. A lot of drivers on their second lap at the moment, so many of them probably starting their finals. As Robbie Kirtley jumps up to 5th place. Eric Kaplinger to 6th. We got some times starting to come in here now as we're on board here now with... We're on Jacob Rafos now. We just made a quick little switch. Jacob Rafos, one of our, probably the fastest driver on dirt racing, James, with a 10,000 something I rating, 10,128. Just unbelievable. One of the only drivers on the dirt road side of iRacing that has a 5-digit number there.
Yeah, I've always referred to him as the Wunderkind, and all you need to do, not even necessarily look at his skills.
He hasn't. He's actually had an issue in every single lap, and this might be it for Jacob Rafos. He's sitting in the pits. This is he doesn't have another opportunity.
Oh
wow! And Kieran Lifflander jumps into first place here with a 41.969. James, that's the first time we've seen a 41 here tonight. I suspect that may be a little bit of a cooler temp here, but Marcos Palacios in second and Jess Rakowski rounding out third with Josh Klog in fourth. Just narrowly behind Jess Rakowski there, the driver in the 999 as we're on board with Dubois. Eric Dubois, just a bit of the brakes there. He almost seemingly deleted that lap. Didn't really like it. His 4th lap, probably just out doing some laps. as I believe all of our drivers are pretty much finished. So this is going to essentially set our grid. Most of them are just giving up on their laps here, James. And wow, Kieran Lifflander setting it top with a 41.969, a fantastic time with Marcos Palacios. Just he's 0.6 behind, James. That's fantastic. Wow, that's quite the gap. Kieran is the kid to beat tonight for Zine setup.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Rafos do the last to first challenge here.
Yeah, the last to first challenge. If anyone can do it, James, it's going to be Jacob Rafos with Nitro Circus Sim Racing Team. He is he's blistering fast. He's literally an alien by definition for this discipline. Rallycross so difficult to master. These short courses, they're so deceiving. They may be quick, but racing is intense as we start to line up or get ready anyways for heat number 1. Drivers, we're going to start to see how this folds out. What are we going to have here, James, for our first lineup? Time is just about there. Absolutely will be. Jess Rakowski will be in the mix there as well. Maybe, no, sorry. It might be Matt Morris, and we'll see here. 4, I believe, with this many drivers. It's going to be a pretty action-packed night. We should have a full feature list. We're going to have 12 in our feature. 2 jokers there, 10 laps. At a track like Spain, I'm so excited. This is going to be incredible, as it seems like are we going to kick this session forward or what? There we go. It looks like they just advanced it now. All the drivers off the track. It was running a little bit long in the tooth. A couple seconds now. We should see what everything comes down to as we move on to heat number 1. And our grid for heat number 1 is Kieran Lieflander, Josh Klog, Matt Belton, Dan Carrito, Ed Boyles Jr., Chris Lunan, and Matthew Grove. Spain, a track, turn 1, very tricky, super narrow. We'll see these drivers dive down in there and have one heck of a time dodging each other. Patience is key as you take that exit as they roll it up here for heat number 1. Off the start here, Kieran Lieflander with a decent line on the inside. Josh Klog right to the outside. Very bump on the inside there. Oh, wow, and that's, who is that, Matt Belton?
Oh!
Wow, that's a bit of a tap there, as it looks like it's just side by side for Kieran Lieflander. He takes the lead there. Josh Klog just folds off into the back, probably the right move there. Not much of an opportunity, as it's single file here through lap 1. Kieran Lieflander takes the lead. Josh Klog right on his heels. A bit of an issue, couldn't get the car rotated through the final corner as he loses a little bit of time. Kieran Lieflander to dive through turn 1 for the first time. Josh Klog a little bit later on the brakes, bridges a bit of a gap. It's through turns 3 and 4. Tricky, hard left-hander followed by a right, and you really need to Scandinavian flick this for this hairpin here as Klog bridges a bit of a gap, gets an excellent line through there, but it's Kieran Lieflander who gets a bit of a charge on the exit. And this hard right-hander through the dirt. Very tricky. You need to be smooth. As Kieran runs it wide. Josh Klog, he's on the inside, but he can't make it happen. Kieran Lieflander, great recovery. Excellent exit on there as we go through turn 6. Final, rounding the last couple corners through turn number 1. It's Kieran Lieflander who leads. Josh Klog in second, and it's a 43.1 and a 43.7 respectively for those two. This is going to be a battle. It looks like Josh Klog is going to fall off a little bit, James, as Kieran Lieflander with a solid lead here in heat number 1.
Yeah, you thought he was going to be a lot closer after that mistake, but Kieran was able to really get the power down and use that extra track he was having to take as his advantage.
Not to dip you off, but Ed Boyles around in that crucial far left-hander as he approaches the hairpin now. He's sandwiched in between Dan Carrito and Chris Lunan here for 4th place. Drops 1 position there, it looks like. Not a great little, not a great spot to be in. That part of the track's so tricky. You need to nail it. Absolutely perfect. Kieran Lieflander rounds the final corner. Josh Klog dips into the Joker. I don't think he's going to be. No, he's not. He's going to clear Matt Belton very easily and remain that 2nd spot. Dan Carrito. It looks like a little bit of a merge traffic there from. Oh, what was that, Matt Belton? Nope, that was. Yeah, Luna, just a. An interesting Joker emerge here, James. This track, very interesting. You do get quite a bit. quite a bit of run off the exit, and you do have quite a bit of vision on that driver that comes through the final couple corners, but merging there still going to be tricky all night, James.
Yeah, just because you see them doesn't mean it's going to make it any easier. In fact, the fact that you can see them might make it worse because you're going to be pushing that much harder, and you're going to try to see if you can get out of their way or get in their way as much as possible, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, might not end well.
No, absolutely not. And the battle for sticks is probably the spiciest we have at the moment. Dan Carrito's putting a bit of pressure on Chris Lunan here for the 6th position. And, Chris maxed the tires there in his side-by-side. He just gives the position up. There's no way he wanted to battle there, and I don't blame him. As Kieran Liftlander rounding the final couple corners on the final lap here, we get the white flag. He's just narrowly leading Josh Clogg. And this battle here for the 6th position. Oh, Kieran Liftlander spins it off, and he's in the pits. I missed it entirely. I went back to that battle at the end. He must have thought it was the final lap.
Oh my God.
No. Oh no, this leaves the door wide open for Josh Clogg, who's in the lead now in the final lap.
Sends his regards.
Oh no!
Oh, you can't do that.
Josh Clogg is he must be smiling. This is fantastic. What a mistake from Kieran Liftlander. He's been solid all night, sitting atop and qualifying as Josh Clogg rounds the final couple of corners to win heat number 1. And Matt Belton looks like he's going to make it behind him, with Matthew Grove narrowly behind. Good little file behind as we get Ed Willis Jr. in 4th. Dan Carrito fighting there still. As Chris Lunan overrotates and spins it in the final corner. Thankfully, Kieran's still parked in the pit, so he can just take it easy here and finish off his race. What a battle! And a mistake from Kieran Liftlander really just steals it, and he has to go back to front in the semifinals. James, wow.
Well, that race is gonna get spicy.
Unbelievable. As we dive into heat number 2 here, Marcos Palacio, Bryan Sawyer, Matthew Morris, Tom Grady, Jake Robichaux, Jeff Cartwright, and Joseph DiGiacomo. This is gonna be a good one here. Obviously, my dad rooting for him in 5th. But Marcos Palacio and Bryan Sawyer, 2 powerhouses in the front row as we begin heat number 2 here in Barcelona. Off the line, it's a fantastic run from Marcos. Bryan gets a great run on the outside, but gets tight and goes wide. He might give up the position to Matthew Morris. They're second. They're side by side. Will they concede? Is there going to be some team orders? They seem to battle for it. Matthew Morris pushed wide by Bryan Sawyer. Bryan Sawyer takes the inside line. He's going to keep it. Matthew Morris is going to back off, but Tom Grady is right in the mix, and he gives Matthew Morris a little nudge to let him know he's there. But Marcos Palacios through the first corner. He's going to take this lead very helpfully ahead of Bryan Sawyer, sorry. Matthew Morris is holding off Tom Grady, though, for 3rd, and this, I think, is going to be the battle to watch here as we push through turn number 1. Fantastic run through here. Marcos Palacio seems to be running away with it. We'll continue to watch this battle as Tom Grady. Oh, Matthew Morris wants this so bad, and he's right there. It's just going to be a mistake. Not much room to pass on Barcelona. We've talked about that all evening long. Will it come down to Joker strategy, or will there be a mistake from Tom Grady in this? As we round it, Marcos Palacios a bit wide, gives up a bit of time to Bryan Sawyer. Tom Grady still in tow. And this is a fantastic little lineup. All these drivers so clean and respectful here so far. As we finish the first lap, Marcos Palacios in 1st, Bryan Sawyer in 2nd, with Tom Grady almost rolls it in the final sector as it looks like Matthew Morris went off the Joker, and he gains 1 position back as this is getting really spicy, James. Lots of battles here to talk about.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to figure it out.
There's the tires! He gives up a little bit of room to Robichaux. There's a move here to happen in hairpin, and if Robichaux can carry on. Oh, he smacks the tires himself a little bit as Robichaux, as he gets the inside. Tom Grady a little bit wide, gives up a bit of the position there, but this is a fantastic battle. This is a section you want to be very smooth, very consistent. Will one of them dive off into a Joker? They will! Tom Grady will go down and give this position up to Jake, who will merge right in next to Bryan Sawyer and take 3rd place for the moment, Jason.
Oh my
Oh, and it's narrow on the exit. Oh boy! Matthew Morris finds himself behind Tom Grady yet again, but this time in traffic near the end. Oh, they're both there, and Cartwright smacks the tires on the exit. Oh, there's a bit of checking up happening at the end here. This is super exciting. The front, we're not missing anything. Marcos Palacios takes out. Oh, and it's a parking lot. Around goes Cartwright. He's facing the opposite direction. He's trying to get turned around. Narrowly misses Giacomo as he enters the hairpin. Unbelievable.
That was a genius strategy by Tom Grady. He had Morris behind him, and he's like, screw it, I'm just gonna throw another car at him.
As we have another bit of a merge strategy as Jake Robichaux comes around the outside of Tom Grady, and there's a little bit of contact there. Makes the move and makes it happen through turn one he did big time. And Robichaux entering this very crucial sector here. Gets a little bit of a run on Tom as Tom now has Matthew Morris breathing down his neck as they enter hairpin. This is a fantastic little battle here. Mistakes. Oh, and Matthew Morris hits the tires. Over rotate, and that's a mistake you don't want to happen. This leaves this battle for Robichaux and Tom Grady for third. Wide open as there's some contact. They keep it straight. Tom Grady's backs the wall. This is unbelievable. This battle for the podium is as brutal as it can be. Tom Grady is mounting an absolute brawl with Robichaux as he plays the defensive line. There's absolutely nothing Tom can do as we look from the back. This white flag for Marcos Palacios as he's on his final lap. This is too exciting. We can't even. Marcos is in the final sector, just running this race away. He's slowly being caught up, but they're in hairpin and side by side, almost on the exit. Tom files in behind Robichaux.
It's easier to talk about which wall they haven't hit so far. Oh, there's one.
Oh, there they go. There's the contact again, and Tom pushes his way through Robichaux. Morris is right there. He's hoping something happens, but this is it. This is the final. Robichaux's around. Fireberry's ready. Over. Matthew Morris takes this one. He gets fourth. It's a parking lot in the final corner. What an absolute race. If I haven't woken up my daughter yet, I certainly will soon. This is unbelievable.
What on earth?
Unbelievable. Tom Grady files in for third and takes the podium, and Marcos Palacios wins with Bryan Sawyer ahead of Tom Grady, Matthew Wilson, Joseph DiGiacomo, Jeff Cartwright, and Jake Robichaux with some issues. I need to take my sweater off, James. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I need a drink after that.
So we have for Heat 3, Jess Rakowski, Robbie Kirtley, Eric Kaplinger, Gerald DeFino, Eric Dubois, Joseph Pascucci, and Jacob Rafos playing from 7th place. We're going to watch Jacob Rafos tonight, see if he can make that back to front. If anybody can do it, it is going to be him. James, this one is wild as we light it up again for Heat number 3. Waiting on someone. Oh, Rafos and Dubois. I thought I heard some cars going. This is up. I can't. Oh, my heart is beating in my chest. I apparently can't hear anything. Yeah. No kidding, as we still wait for Rafos. 7th on the grid. He is not in the session as we roll forward. He must have left. It must have been too late. As we go for Heat number 3, Jess Rakowski, a great run. But it looks like Eric Kaplinger is going to file in behind on the inside and take that line. He's going to file in. It's Jess Rakowski off and away. Robbie Kirtley is... Oh, Eric Kaplinger surges to the outside ahead of... And there's a bit of contact between all these drivers. A lot of respect here in this section. These lights are so easy to save, but... That is Robbie Kirtley all the way to the back. Just a move to the wall and just didn't want to get in there. I would have done the same thing. As we rounded out, it's single file, one driver wide. That's Joseph Pascucci on the outside. He's giving a bit of room to Robbie Kirtley, but it's single file here for Heat number 3. Jess Rakowski out and away with Eric Kaplinger behind, and Gerald DeFino, a huge charge there in the third corner. Wow, this is a battle for the top three from the semis are transferring. That's correct. So this is a battle for the transfer, and this is going to get wild as Gerald DeFino is trying everything to get ahead of Eric Kaplinger here, Jason.
Ooh, what an entry right there. He took that curve hard, but it looked good. He gained a lot of speed doing that. I don't think I've really seen a lot of people hitting that curve though on entry. It's an interesting line.
It is. like on the entry to that right-hand sweeper. I think I smacked the curb there as well, as Robbie Kirtley sitting in the pits at the moment. Bit of an issue there. Probably didn't like the positioning he was in that heat race. Jess Rakowski still off to a commanding lead on Eric Kaplinger, but this battle for second we're watching with Gerald Defino right on the heels of Eric Kaplinger. Goes wide in the hairpin, leaves a small room, but there's not much. It's a little bit of a defensive line. It just gives a bit of a room, bleeds a bit of time to Gerald. Is little wide. Oh, they're both a bit wide through the middle there. Excellent exit by Eric on that turn on Kaplinger.
The entirety of Defino's rear was off the track when he hit that curve that time.
Oh, and there goes Eric Kaplinger down into the Joker, so this could open things up. It's not a smooth one. No traffic, though, with Kaplinger as Dubois files down in the Joker. There might be a bit of an issue here with Joseph Pascucci, though, and Eric Dubois. Eric Dubois, a bit of a run off the Joker. Joseph runs to the inside. This is a great line, even defensively. Oh, a little over-rotated. I don't think there's going to be much from these two drivers, but it's a bit. It's just a bit shaky. Oh! Pascucci hits the tires.
You can't park here,
It's a parking lot. It is a parking lot. There's going to be a fine, and Dubois is going to be trying to issue it as he just jumps out of the way. Just an issue. That is a tough part of the track to master, James. That hard left-hander, you have to hit it absolutely right. As it looks like Jess Rakowski jumps off to the Joker, and it's going to be a bit of a mix with Gerald Defino as they get close, but it's a way and away an opportunity to make a mistake. It's missed there, as it looks like it just files in. I'm trying to check and see if we have any battles, and I don't think we do.
Whoa.
Ooh!
That was nearly a disaster for Jess.
And a quick reminder at how things can how fast things can change in an instant. It looks like, oh boy, Defino's making a bit of a charge, but Defino hasn't had a Joker yet. I was just about to say that. Kaplinger is closing in. Oh, and he thought about it. He thought about it, but that's a mistake. Absolutely right. He wants the run. You don't want that on the final corner. Yeah, absolutely. And he's just going to give up the position anyways. Oh my God, Robbie Kirtley, he tries to get back on track and just rolls it. This car is absolutely broken. It does not want to go straight.
Yeah, I'd say that bug is squished.
That is absolutely, as Jess Rakowski is on her final lap, charging lead ahead of Gerald Defino here as the white flag is in the air. Anything can happen in these final corners. Yeah, you're right. Let's see here as Jess Rakowski rounds the final corner to win in heat number 3. Defino, and yeah, absolutely. Eric Kaplinger's going to take that win in second over Defino. No issues with that Joker strategy. As Eric Dubois rounding the final couple corners now to take 4th. Sorry, that may be. Yeah, that's right. Joseph Pascucci in 5th, and Robbie Kirtley in 6th, who's been having issues with that car tonight. Had to park it a couple times, tried to come out. Just having it crab walking. Not a great look. That's not a position you want to be in the semifinals, James, coming in from the back like that.
Yeah, no. It's a good thing they'll be able to get that thing repaired and get it back tracking how it's supposed to be.
Oh, they might even have to get a second car at this point. That
they got the best pit crew out there. They'll get those totally fixed in no time.
Yeah. They'll take a few sledgehammers. That's for certain. I think we're gonna go into our semifinal. That's next. It is there. We got 2 semifinals coming up for you. Top 3 making their ways over. We have Matthew Grove on pole position ahead of Gerald Defino, Matthew Morris, Dan Carrito, Joseph Pascucci, Jeff Cartwright, and Kieran Lifflander starting from behind after the issue in heat number 1. After the mistake, really, parking the car a lap early. They'll have to fight from the end. Not where I'd want to be in a semi-final position. As we're there. We're ready to go. As we're lighting it up. Green line. Great start from Kieran Lifflander. I don't even know. Is that a jump? Because he gets an excellent start on the inside. And it's Matthew Grove out and ahead. of Gerald Defino in second and Kieran Liftlander in third from 7th place after the first lap. And he gets into it with Matthew Morris. Matthew Morris pushes his way to the inside. Bit of a nudge from Dan Corrido as well, and everyone's letting Kieran Liftlander know that, hey, we're here and we want to race too. We're not going to let you go from 7th to 3rd like that. It's a bit of an issue from Dan Corrido when he goes around. You're right. Oh my word. Matthew Morris is now side by side with Gerald Defino going into turn 1 after the final corner. And Matthew Morris just gives it up, James. Why would he do that?
I don't know. Yeah, Defino took the lead from Grove.
I can't believe that.
Hit the wall.
Maybe he did,
close.
but the inside on Morris. What a move! He gets him. Maybe that's a bit too aggressive, James. I'm not sure there, but he pushes him wide on the outside and then goes wide respectively in the next quarter. Gives this up to Matthew Morris. Matthew Morris is still clutching on now with that small mistake. There's still some life left there as, it looks like Matt Grove goes a bit wide, gets a bad entry into the final couple corners, leaves Kieran Liftlander an opportunity here as we round the first lap. Gerald Defino leads. He's a loose in turn 1 though. Manages to save it, comes back in, and he gives up some time to Matty Grove, and Kieran Liftlander's giving him a nudge. He's going to go side by side. Is he going to try to go inside into hairpin? I don't know. He's going to. Matthew Grove goes a smidge wide. Kieran Liftlander gives him a little bit of the door bang, and they're side by side into turn 6. He goes wide on the outside. He's going to. No, he's not going to smack the wall. He saves it. Oh my word, he gets the run. That is unbelievable. You're not going to tell me that running right in that corner is going to be a new meta now. That was an unbelievable surge as it looks like Gerald Defino jumps off into his Joker, and it's Kieran Liftlander who leads ahead of Matty Grove after 3 laps with Gerald Defino in 3rd. And both of these top 2 have not taken their Jokers yet, so this could be the difference maker, James. This Joker could be where it happens.
Yeah, I'm curious. Looked like a really good time Joker by Defino. It doesn't look like he's going to be dealing with a whole lot of traffic. He's
absolutely depends on
right now. So
yeah, I think as it stands right now, Grove is going to give this position up to Defino on the Joker rotation just because Gerald's got this done. Matthew Morris is lagging a little bit behind there, spawning with some issues, but Kieran Liftlander holding a strong lead and needs to hold on to this hard if he wants to hold off Matty Grove. Matty Grove actually just dropping a little bit behind after that first lap as Kieran Liftlander sets our fastest lap at 43.256. And Matty Grove's last lap was actually a 45 flat. That was that with his Joker? Did he Joker, James? Did I miss that? No, so he must have had an issue. He's bleeding a bunch of time to Defino now. Gerald goes the inside on the hairpin. He's all over him, riding that bumper. And it's literally, it's mistake city now. If he wants to make an opportunity, there could be a mistake or it could be done on Joker. If Matt takes his Joker now, yeah, Grove needs to really take his Joker soon. As he goes off, there he goes. So does Liftlander, but it doesn't matter. Defino files in 2nd place. Grove comes out in 3rd. Oh, he's actually going to be a little bit of a battle for Morris, but I think he might get him on. Oh, it depends on how aggressive he's going to be here into turn 1, James. He goes for the inside. He sends it, and Matthew Morris almost says, yeah, you know what, you can have it. I don't want anything to do with that. As we run through that pivotal 90-degree dirt section into our hairpin, and looks like Morris, this is a battle for the transfer. Morris lost it, but he saves it. Oh my goodness. But this is a ton of time to bleed with literally no time left to go. Kieran Liftlander, this is our final lap, I believe, takes the final corner and wins in our semifinal and transfers ahead of Gerald Defino. Matthew Morris is going to come in here and take this from Matty Grove, sorry, is going to take this from Matthew Morris, followed by Jeff Cartwright, best of the rest, Joseph Pascucci, and Dan Corrido, parked in the pits, actually, sitting behind there if you lost it. Great little race, James. Wow, these are exciting tonight.
I'm exhausted after that. We still have 2 more.
Me too. I have been trying to find an opportunity to take my sweater off because I'm actually sweating from yelling. As we run into semifinal number 2, Tom Grady, Ed Boyles Jr., Eric Dubois, Joseph DiGiacomo, Chris Lunan, Robbie Kirtley, Jake Robichaux, and Jacob Rafos. It's been a story of come from behind wins tonight, actually. Can Jacob Rafos make that 2? He's right, he's not in the session. I keep forgetting. Jacob Rafos probably snoozing. I don't blame him. It's very early up his way as we round here for semifinal number 2. Just waiting on Eric Dubois. As here we go. Actually, Eric Dubois, did he not make it? I hear them running the... Maybe it's just some drivers revving in anticipation as Dubois hops on the grid and the cars begin to squat for semifinal number 2.
I just shared it.
And we're green, and it's a fantastic run from the first 2, and nothing super spectacular. A couple drivers check up as, oh, it looks like the 000, and Eric Dubois gets tight and smacks the 38 of Ed Boyles, and it's just Tom Grady off to the races with Ed Boyles. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a big punt. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my. Wow, there's some smacking moves here. Oh, it's side by side as we start to file in. This is not the opportunity where you want to be battling as we round the first couple corners here. Remember, no joker on the first lap here. Barcelona is, oh my word, we've got Joseph on the outside of Jake Robichaux. Jake Robichaux's going to hold the inside. He's going to lose that position unless he can get something done in the braking zone. Maybe he makes it stick a little bit, but this is not a spot you want to go side by side, James, as we've got someone in the tire barrier and side by side ahead of them. That's Eric Dubois and Ed Boyles as they enter the hairpin here for the first time. It's going to be clean. Ed Boyles a bit loose. Jake Robichaux barges through the inside of Joseph DiGiacomo and takes that spot as we round the final first couple corners, and we're finally first or single file, it seems, James. Jake Robichaux smacks the wall on the exit there. Gives up a bit of time as we round the first lap, and it is Tom Grady leading ahead of Ed Boyles Jr., Chris Lunan with Jake Robichaux right behind, and Eric Dubois, Robbie Kirtley. And Joseph DiGiacomo is around in the final corner. He's trying to get back up here. Not looking good for him, James.
No, that his race went from bad to worse pretty quickly. Oh, speaking of bad to worse.
Oh, bad to worse is right. That's Chris Lunan into the barriers, and he gives that position up to Jake Robichaux, and that's a transfer position. A little overzealous on the inside. Doesn't make contact, thankfully, but he manages to get the car stopped without any issues as he's just basically playing catch-up now against Jake Robichaux. None of these drivers now, except for Robbie Kirtley, has taken their jokers. Robbie Kirtley in an okay position if he can take advantage of this battle between Chris Lunan and Eric Dubois for fourth. But looks like, oh, who's that? Chris Lunan jumps off into his joker, and he'll file off in behind Chris Lunan and ahead of Joseph DiGiacomo. Tom Grady is now side by side with Ed Boyles Jr. in the first corner, but again, we've talked about this all night. Not a place you really want to be making a pass, and I think he just concedes there and files in behind Jake Robichaux in third. Eric Dubois smacks the wall a little bit on the exit, leaves up a little bit of room to Robbie Kirtley and Chris Lunan. Joseph DiGiacomo on the outside, looking in here, as it's the Tom Grady show. He's running off with the lead as we have Chris Lunan around in the hairpin. Doesn't seem to catch up anybody else, so it's just a self-inflicted injury as he files in behind in 7th place. But this battle here for 2nd place, I think, is the one we want to watch at the moment. Robichaux giving it to Ed Boyles Jr. here for 2nd place. And both of these drivers transferring, so really, it's Robbie Kirtley looking in. Oh, it's Jake, just... Right here is our battle for the transfer. You're right. Jake Robichaux comes out of our joker lap. Comes right ahead of Robbie Kirtley. So Robbie Kirtley is... just being reminded of you can't hear our producer in our ears, so I need to get used to not responding to our producer that you can't hear. As this battle for third fizzling out a little bit, Robbie Kirtley faces a little bit of an issue in hairpin and loses some time to Jake Robichaux, who's holding third very respectively. Both of these drivers have taken their joker. Ed Boyles, I believe, the only one out there at the moment who hasn't, as he dives down right now as I say it. Where will he come out in relation to Jake Robichaux? And it's close. He's going to have the run. It's going to be a side-by-side over there. Oh, it's a bit of a drag race. I don't think these drivers will battle for it. Jake Robichaux files in behind through turn 1, and he's going to take that transfer. That is the smart move here. You don't want to take any battles here this late as he gives a little bit of a nudge to the wall on the inside. He's got a very respectable lead over Robbie Kirtley, who's facing some issues, almost a slowdown there at the moment, I want to say. No, Robbie Kirtley, yeah, he had a slowdown, so he must have cut a little bit on the inside. To be honest, James, I didn't even know there was a slowdown there.
Yeah, I didn't even know where you can get a slowdown.
Yeah, as we round the final couple corners, Tom Grady wins here in our 2nd semifinal of the evening ahead of Ed Boyles Jr., followed very closely by Jake Robichaux in a solid P3. And then it's Robbie Kirtley, followed by Chris Lunan, Joseph DiGiacomo, and Eric Dubois, assuming these drivers make it through this tricky final corner. Eric a bit wide, and that will do it for our semifinal. Our feature is set for the evening, and drivers are going to prep to chase a win tonight. Before that, let's hear a couple quick messages from our sponsors.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN, safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
By
it.
side between these two in the terminal, this is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap clock at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. Over in the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up and into the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Robbie's going to hold his power.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
We welcome you back to round number 4 of TWRS NASA Rallycross Lights at Barcelona. What an exciting night it's been so far. Once again with Victor Vallee in the production truck. My name is Justin Robichaux, up in the commentary box alongside series sponsor James Watson. Very quickly, we're going to give a huge thanks to our new series sponsor and setup providers at Team Watson Racing Setups. And cameras for this entire season, are provided by Whiplash Simcams. Check them out at facebook.com/Whiplash Media. And our coverage tonight is brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTV USA. And finally, our intro music tonight was produced by our very own Alex Zapetti. So tonight, we're just setting up here now. The warm-up is halfway through. We'll very quickly take a look at what's our grid for the evening. All right. So our grid, looking very good. Josh Klug sitting atop tonight ahead of Marcus Palacio and Jess Rakowski. This should be a fantastic battle. I'm super excited for this. There's a few drivers here at the top that made it through without any issues tonight. Issues have been kind of plaguing some of our drivers. Barcelona, the track that gives a lot of that, James. Before we jump into this, I guess we got a few minutes. What's your prediction tonight? Who do you see any surprises? Is turn one, you think, going to be a big issue, or?
It could, but I don't know. I think it might be a pretty big battle between Klug and Palacio. Although, given how fast we saw Liplander make it up to the front in his semi, I don't think we can count him out quite yet.
Absolutely, yeah. P7 is where he's starting tonight. P7 was where he's starting in the LCQ, and he finished first in that. So yeah, he was third after the very first corner, actually. So fantastic performance. He'll be a driver we'll still want to watch tonight at a rocket start. We'll expect the same thing from Karen Liplander again, as drivers just out there warming up for tonight's feature race. We've gone over all our sponsor plugs and etc. for the evening. I suppose now we just have a few minutes. Yeah, we can just go over some programming notes at the moment. So NASA Rallycross Challenge, brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. That's on Monday nights. Tomorrow, round 4 will be at Barcelona. Same track here we're doing tonight. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. You'll get myself, Josh Mertz, and Bryan Sawyer for that one. And then OSRL GT Series round 6 at Road Atlanta will be on Thursday, the 11th. That's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You'll have myself, Josh Mertz, and Bryan Sawyer for that one as well. And NASA Rallycross Lights again next week, round 5 at Atlanta on the 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Jared Lott, Victor Vallee, and James Watson for that one. So much fun these lights have been. I've had an absolute blast filling in for Jared Lott tonight, who is out with some scheduling conflicts. We hope we'll see you back next week. But this has been honestly a ton of fun, James. I know I'm screaming into the mic and taking away a lot of your thunder, but this racing in the lights has been absolutely fantastic, as Josh Klug sets a 43.2 in practice.
Yeah, I think this might be the best race all season. Like, this was like, there hasn't been a single lull at all in any of the races. There's usually been one crazy knockdown drag out battle to keep our attention on, and that's a good thing about this track is it always seems to put on good racing because of the high chaos factor.
High chaos factor and how accordioned all the drivers are. No rooms to make passes. We've mentioned that before. So drivers relying on joker strategies or mistakes. This track's always a lot of fun. It treats me very poorly as a driver. Every time I'm here, I get maybe some type of damage, or I get into it with another driver. Maybe one good result here, but I do love the track so much. We're watching Josh Klug around the hairpin section, but that section you just went through, one of my favorites in any rallycross track. A good Scandinavian flick into a hairpin. I mean, what's not to like, James? What's not to like?
Hitting the tire barrier on the inside.
Yeah, or the wall, the concrete wall. If you hit that on the left, it's absolutely.
Yeah, totally don't have any experience with that.
Yeah, right. I've not done that at all, but so flowy is Barcelona. Excellent double apex corners, and super fun to nail, as it looks like it's going to be a great battle. Bryan Sawyer sitting second in practice with a 43.3. half our drivers in the 43, and the rest basically on the very low end of the 44 spectrum is going to be a fantastic feature.
Many of my ill-fated attempts to drive Rallycross here in NASA at this track have come to an end unceremoniously in the hairpin or the first tire barrier when you get to the tight chicane section. Like we're coming up to here now. If you look closely, you can see an indent of the 39 right there in that banner.
As we dip off into our race session and our grid for this evening for our feature race in lights, Josh Klog in pole ahead of Marcos Palacio and Jess Rakowski in third with Matt Belton, Bryan Sawyer rounding up the top 5, Eric Kaplinger in 6th, Kieran Lifflander in 7th, and Tom Grady in 8th. We'll watch Kieran Lifflander from 7th. He's been so strong all evening. We light it up. Drivers are all on the field, it looks like, as we roll the cars and get ready for our feature race in round 4 at Barcelona. Here we go, off and away. Great start from every single driver as we file in.
Oh, man.
Oh, and it's side-by-side, all drivers super respectful, and it's side-by-side for the lead, actually, as Marcos Palacios dives off a bit on the brakes. It's turned by Jess Rakowski. Manages to save it, but this leaves the door wide open for Kieran Lifflander, who jumps into third, but it's Josh Klog way out and ahead with a small lead against Marcos Palacios as we round the final couple corners, to start the first lap. There's a bit of an accordion effect here. Oh my goodness, it looked like Bryan Sawyer was smacked by his teammate. Not a position you want to be here, as it looks like Eric Kaplinger thought about going up to the inside. Sorry, the 848, the Jared Defino tried to go up the inside of Bryan Sawyer, but decided not to, as it's single file here through the hairpin. Little bit of moves on the inside for third from Kieran Lifflander, but he can't make it happen. This is just absolutely wild battles. My timing screen is all red as it looks like Marcos Palacios a bit wide. We've seen that run not be too detrimental to drivers tonight, as he gets a decent run on Josh Klog through the final couple corners as we round the first lap. It looks like it's going to be Josh Klog with Marcos Palacios and Kieran Lifflander all in the 44 seconds. We've got some jokers already here. Bryan Sawyer and Rakowski jumping off on their jokers really early here in Barcelona. Probably a great strategy, to be honest, James, very early in this race to get out of traffic.
I would agree. I'd say that was a huge parking lot we had here a lap ago. We had almost the entirety of the Bryan Sawyer team.
Oh, it's just Rakowski parks it in the hairpin. Oh, and it looks like she collects Bryan Sawyer a little bit, but he manages to get back on. Oh, and Bryan Sawyer actually fighting a slowdown because of that. And she is stuck. She gets unstuck and going again, but that's going to put her down to 11th with Eric Kaplinger sitting in 12th. Oh, Palacio. Oh, and they're going to come out in traffic after this joker ahead of Matt Belton. Looks like both of them going to make this pass very easily, but it's single file through turn 1. Turns 2 and 3, very tricky to do with people so close. Both of these drivers very respectful, very strong on the exits as we begin our approach through hairpin. Again, both drivers, one and the same. Palacios and Lifflander, two strong lights drivers here in our lights division, as Palacios a bit wide, leaves the door open for Lifflander. He goes into the inside, and they're side by side here as we go over the jump. Lifflander smacks the wall just a bit, but he keeps it straight. Marcos Palacios decides to just check up a little bit, live to fight another day. Oh, the final corner, a little bit of a checkup, but Josh Klog takes one of his jokers, and he's still with a commanding lead here. Kieran Lifflander sets our fastest lap at a 43.847. And a little bit of position battling here for 7th and 8th as Jake Robichaud gets turned in the final corner. Looks like he gets turned by Gerald Defino, or sorry, Bryan Sawyer, actually. Oh, that's not a good little, that sucks. Very, very bad little issue in the final corner. You never want to get side by side there and get turned, as it looks like it's just battle on battle. This one for 2nd. Klog with a small issue, gives a little bit of time up to Lifflander. Dives off into his joker. This is going to give them up for the moment, as it looks like Josh Klog goes to complete his strategy, files in behind Marcos Palacios. This gives Lifflander the lead for the moment, but this is not a true lead. Both of these top 2 drivers, and Lifflander and Palacios, have not jokered yet. So we will be watching that closely as our nearest driver in fourth appears to be Matthew Grove.
Oh my
He is only half his as well.
Palacio and Clog!
Clog and Palacio together. Clog stays back on the track, but is he going to have a slowdown? Had to go off. He does have a slowdown. He has a slow. He's still fighting it. He just clears it. They're side by side now. This could be very crucial. Clog with a favorable line on the inside here. Can he maintain it? Little bit of contact before they go over the jump. Josh Clog files in behind Marcos Palacios here as we round the 5th lap. We're at cross flags, and it's Marcos Palacios who takes the lead over Josh Clog, and this is a true lead, I think, because both of these drivers have finished their strategy. No, sorry. I think Palacios still has one more joker left, so this is interesting here, guys. Josh Clog, all he really has to do is hang on. Liftlander still has a strong lead with one joker left. So this really here...
His race to lose now. That was huge for him.
This could be
a replay on that because that was a violent incident. Palacio was airborne for a minute. I could see the underside of his car.
We missed that incident for certain. Kieran Liftlander, strong lead even after his joker. I think he's still going to take this, James. He's got quite a lead. He's got a 7-second gap.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be able to cruise. Like, they lost so much time with whatever the heck that was.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be next to somebody. Even if it was a small mistake, that it's so narrow and you're so focused on getting that car rotated for that 90-degree left. If something wrong happens, you're just in the way of other drivers, especially with this close racing here in this lights division. As Clog bleeding a little bit of time to Marcos Palacios here. Marcos still has one joker left, so Clog still holding on, hoping for that transfer. We should still have second place very good as Liftlander dives off into his joker and he's uncontested, away and away for first. It is really his race to lose, James.
Yeah, I think this might be all she wrote on that. Unless he forgets the lap count again.
Yeah, well, let's hope that doesn't happen in his 10 laps as we've got Sawyer up on the inside of Matthew Grove here in turn 1 over the start-finish line. This is an interesting little battle. Looks like Grove's just going to concede this to Bryan Sawyer. Doesn't want to get into a mess in this section, and I honestly don't blame him at all, James.
Yeah.
That's not a spot you want to be. Right now, our battles seem to be near the end. A lot of position changes as Tom Grady goes off in the final, or in that 90-degree left section, turn 3. Approaching hairpin now, but he seems to have lost a couple positions there in that little tussle as Bryan Sawyer moves up to 5th behind Matt Belton. This lead up in front starting to fizzle out just a little bit. All these drivers spacing out quite a bit.
Traffic.
Liftlander just goes right by Robichaud on left traffic, and Robichaud overzealous on the re-entry and almost makes contact.
That almost got spicy.
Absolutely brutal as we are approaching the final lap here, and it looks like Palacio wide in turn 4 here. Could catch up to Robichaud again, but it's not looking likely. Liftlander is really just in a league of his own as Clog. Marcos Palacio has to, yeah, he does. Oh, no, he doesn't yet. He has to next. This is a huge battle here from the back. The 7th position back. My deltas, guys, are just all red. It is driver after driver from 7th back. An absolute meat grinder, as Victor says. It is absolutely meat grinder. And at a track like Barcelona, so tight, you absolutely know it is. I'm still keeping an eye on Marcos Palacio, who still has to joker ahead of Josh Clog. Josh Clog just hanging on here. He has to do it right now. So if we watch Palacio, I think he really has to go off now, James. There's no other opportunity.
Nope.
We round the final couple corner. White flag as Kieran Liftlander takes the win ahead of is it going to be Josh Clog? I think it's going to be Josh Clog easily here for P2. Marcos Palacio files in 3rd, and it's going to be Matthew Belton in 4th, followed by Bryan Sawyer in 5th. As long as he keeps it straight, almost over-rotates it. Matthew Grove in 6th. Gerald Defino. We're going to, this battle here, let's keep our eyes here because it is going to be... And then Ed Boyles Jr. followed by Jess Rakowski, Eric Kaplinger, and Jake Jake Robichaud filing out at the end here, just having some issues, falling in a little behind. What a fantastic feature, James. This is just unbelievable. Kieran Liftlander comes back from 7th position Am I correct? 7th position to come in first. Unbelievable. Just goes to show how a good start and a good first turn here at Barcelona can give you a great race, James, as we get ready to start to bring our drivers in. Kieran over to take a picture, maybe.
Lord have mercy.
Wow. It's the first time we have a chance to breathe.
Yeah, this was.
Oh
this
boy.
was insanity.
Insanity. Like, I still don't even feel like that's the right word for it. It was electric from start to finish. Electric. Let's get our top 3 in here. Josh Clog, famously always jumping out of the salmon with some issues we've had here today. He'll probably be jumping out again just even faster. He's probably already gone by now. But our top 12 this evening in our feature, Kieran Leaflander takes it from Zeem Setup Shop ahead of Josh Clog and Marcos Palacios, rounding out our top 3 with Matt Belton, Brian Sawyer, Matthew Grove, Gerald Defino, Tom Grady, Ed Boyles, Jess Rakowski, Eric Kappinger, and Jake Robichaux, rounding out our top 10. And it looks like we are only going to get our winner tonight. So let's bring Kieran Leaflander in for a very quick interview. Kieran. Tonight in the feature. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. And like fantastic is the epitome of your starts tonight. Absolutely. That was one thing I was going to comment on. Took the words right from my mouth. James Watson, do you have anything for our winner tonight?
Getting unlucky at Knock Hill with the track limits, and obviously last week with Brandsatch and the track getting bugged out. So yeah, finally no issues except for me having a brain fart as a veteran driver, which is going to happen. But yeah, and Dango Folds, Kenny Zeems back at the setup shop, and all the men and women that put their hard work and strength into building these VW Beetle lights and shipping them to all these tracks all around the world. And again, really happy to get it done and can't wait to get them next week.
Thank you so much, Kieran. Fantastic interview as always, and a fantastic win tonight through all your adversity. Go bask in this one, and congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. See you guys.
All right. Wow. That was an absolute mouthful. A huge thanks to our new series sponsor and setup providers at Team Watson Racing Setups. And cameras for the entire evening, or the entire season, rather, are provided by Whiplash SimCams. Check them out at facebook.com/Whiplash Media. Our coverage tonight was brought to you by NordVPN. And for up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/USA. And finally, our intro music, as always, is produced by our very own Alex Sabetti, who we hope to see back very, very soon. Very quickly before we go, we'll go over some quick programming notes. Our NASA Rallycross Challenge is tomorrow night, round 4, at this exact track at Barcelona. It is sure to bring an absolute bursting excitement. If it is anything like it's been tonight, that is at 8 p.m. Eastern. You'll have myself, Josh Mertz, and Bryan Sawyer for that one. And then on Thursday night, OSRL GT Series action continues with round 6 at Road Atlanta on April 11th, 8:30 Eastern. You'll have myself and Josh Mertz for that one with Bryan Sawyer. And that is sure to be a lot of action. And again, your favorite night of racing on Sunday nights, NASA Rallycross Lights will return next week with round 5, headed to Atlanta on the 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern. You should have Jarrett Lott, Victor Vallee, and James Watson for that one again. And if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network. ASN. We are your source for sim sports. Be sure to check us out. We have a lot of action going on 3 nights a week, maybe more. We're building and we're growing. And if you want to get in on the action, be sure to visit nasasimracing.com and join our Discord. We should have something for you, if not Rallycross. Everyone should give it a try. It's a blast on the service. And the checkered flag falls on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Josh Mertz, Jess Rakowski, Victor Vallee, Chad Irvine, Philip Kraus, Cody Erdman, Jared Lott, James Watson, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Justin Robichaux. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of TWRS NASA Rallycross Lights. Be sure to join us tomorrow night for the 4th round of Supercross here at Barcelona. And until next week, have a good night, everyone.